Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Zone. We have our first look at a new Fanatics Premium jersey. So this is the jersey that's basically going to be your Adidas Indo equivalent. So the jersey you buy from the NHL shop and everything like that. The jerseys that we looked at previously from Fanatics, I think it's been about 3 weeks to a month ago now. Those were the made in Canada jerseys. So your expensive jerseys, those I think are going to be going for, I think $400 American. Very expensive, but those are super high quality. These ones here, they're probably going to retail from anywhere from $180 American to probably $190. So these are the jerseys that most fans and even most collectors are going to get, unless you are like a hardcore collector and you want the on ice product, then you'll go with those retail made in Canada jerseys. But if you're not that kind of person and you're kind of like me and you just want a bunch of jerseys, you'll probably buy one of these at some point. And from what we're looking at here, from the pictures that I've seen so far, they look really similar to the Adidas Indo jerseys, which of course is what we heard was going to happen. We've heard for a very long time that they're not going to be changing a whole lot with these Fanatics jerseys, at least for the first year. And from the pictures that we see and the pictures that we are going to take a look at in this video, it looks like that is going to be the case. But of course, before we do jump into it here, if you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I will be buying one of these Fanatics Premium jerseys when they are officially available, and I'll be comparing it to my Adidas Indo jerseys. So if you want to see that, hit that subscribe button. All right, now let's go ahead and let's pull up our first picture here. So these do come from Ducks Game Day Breakdown on Instagram. I'll leave a link to their post in the description down below if you want to check out their post yourself. So this is our first real look at one of these Fanatic Premium jerseys. And just in case you guys don't know the levels of the Fanatics jerseys, you have the breakaways, which are basically the Fanatics jerseys that we've seen for, basically since Adidas took over. Then we have the Fanatics Premiums, like I mentioned, is basically your Adidas Indo equivalent. And then the Authentic Pro is those made in Canada jerseys, the top tier jerseys there. I just wanted to make sure that was clear before we really dive into it here. So with this jersey, there's not really a whole lot that's different comparing it to an Adidas Indo jersey outside of the main changes that we knew were coming, like the dimples no longer being on these Fanatics jerseys. I believe that was an Adidas trademark, so we knew those were going away for a while. And honestly, I really do not think it's that big of a deal, especially with these jerseys right here, because with the Adidas Indo jerseys, like you can see the dimples, like you can kind of see them, but they're very faint. They don't really pop up all that often. I don't really think they make a huge difference on the made in Canada Adidas jerseys. I do think they make a difference there, but with the jerseys that we'll be looking at here and with most of the retail jerseys, I don't think it's a big deal at all. I don't think it really matters a whole lot. And it's not like we've had dimples on jerseys for a very long time. It's only been an Adidas thing. So yeah, I really don't care that much about the dimples going away. That's at least just my opinion. The other change is the NHL shield itself. It's going to be a little bit more of a holographic look. So at least from looking at these pictures here, it looks like it's going to be a little bit flatter and the materials are kind of like swapped a little bit. We talked about that a lot more in my, other video that I did previously. But yeah, I don't think that change is a big deal either. It's a change, but I don't think it really matters a whole lot. And then of course we have inside the back of the collar with the sizing tag and everything like that. That's changed up a decent amount. That one kind of stripe that usually holds what the sizing tag is and where the jersey is made, everything like that on the Adidas jerseys. Now that just says Premium or, Authentic Pro or Breakaway, depending on what jersey you're going to be having. I think that's fine. I don't really mind that. Honestly, the size tag there though, it's weird, but I'm not really a huge fan of it, especially depending on how it's actually made, because with looking at it right there, it looks like it's kind of just a sticker, and I wouldn't be surprised, or at least it kind of looks like it would come off fairly easy in a wash or something like that. Obviously, I have no idea if that's the actual case or not, but it looks like it would come off easily in a wash. It looks like it doesn't really permanently stay there, so I don't love the way that it looks. Of course, I'll have to see once again in person when I do eventually get one of these jerseys if, I maybe like it a little bit more then. Right now, I don't mind the way that it's actually like designed. I don't mind the design of it. I think that's fine. You can see, the Fanatics and the NHL shield up top, the Premium right underneath, and then the size where it says size 50. I don't see anywhere where it says the jersey is made. Maybe that's underneath the size 50 and we just can't really see it in this picture. I'm assuming these jerseys are made in Indonesia. I would think that would be the case because, of course, like I mentioned already a few times in this video, these Adidas jerseys were made in Indonesia. We had Reebok jerseys. Some of those were made in Indonesia. So I would assume it's going to be the exact same thing here. I would think they're made in Indonesia, but of course, from these pictures right here, we can't 100% confirm. So in terms of the changes of inside the back of the collar there, I actually don't mind them. I think design-wise, they look pretty good. If that sizing tag does come off easily, then obviously that's a really bad thing, but we'll kind of have to see about that. I've also, kind of seen some people question whether Fanatics is going to be moving away from the inside the back of the collar kind of Easter eggs or tagging, whatever you want to say. For example, with this jersey right here, it has Mighty inside the back of the collar. I've heard some people kind of question whether Fanatics was moving away from that or not. From at least what I've seen, they will be keeping the ones that are already in place. For example, like the New Jersey Devils, they have their cup wins inside the back of the collar. That is going to be continuing on these Fanatics jerseys. Will they be making any new ones? Not really quite too sure. We'll have to see about that, but they will still be keeping the older ones from what I've seen. One thing that I am disappointed looking at this picture here is the actual shape of the jersey. Now, it's covered a little bit by the sleeves there, but it does look like it is going to be the same general shape as the Adidas jerseys, which I was hoping would not be the case. I am not a fan of the Adidas cut, the bell cut. I think it looks absolutely terrible, especially as a short person. I am very, very short. Like, I'm 5'3" on my good days, so most jerseys are really long on me, and I'm fine with that. I don't really think that's a big deal. However, with the Adidas jerseys, they flare out a bit at the bottom, so they really do end up looking like a dress on me. I mean, I feel like even with some other people, they do kind of end up looking like a dress, but for myself, with the jerseys already being really long on me, they definitely look like a dress. So I was hoping that Fanatics would change that at some point. Maybe they still will in the future, and maybe it's just this first year, but I was hoping that they would change it. Let's move on to the back of the jersey. Nothing really too crazy. We just see the Fanatics logo. I will admit though, I do actually like the Fanatics logo more than the Adidas logo that we've at least had on most of the Adidas jerseys. I think it mainly comes down to the fact that with most of the Adidas jerseys, they actually have the Adidas word mark underneath their logo. Never really was a massive fan of that. I did like on the Reverse Retro 2.0s where they took that away and it was basically just the three stripes. I thought that looked nice, but yeah, the Fanatics logo also looks fine. I mean, obviously, it kind of comes with a lot of bad taste in your mouth because it is Fanatics, but in general, just trying to kind of push that aside, push away, my actual thoughts about Fanatics and just looking at the logo itself, I think it looks all right. Our next photo is of the logo itself, and we can see that they are keeping that 3D embroiderment, that prime green logos, whatever you want to call them. Very, very happy about that because, when they did release those Made in Canada jerseys, we saw that they did keep those 3D embroiderment logos, and I was hoping that it would continue on to these premium jerseys, and I'm very, very glad that it did because it was my most kind of feared thing, I would say, with Fanatics, is that they would move away from these high quality logos. It is the best thing I would say that Adidas did is the logos themselves. When they upgraded to these prime green logos, they are phenomenal. All logos just look absolutely amazing in the prime green Adidas jerseys. I don't really think any of them are that bad just because of how nice they look, how well they're made, and everything like that. So the fact that they are continuing that on these Fanatics jerseys, I am very, very happy about that. And we can even compare this logo to the Made in Canada logo that we saw 3 weeks ago, and at least to myself, they look basically the exact same. I don't really see any difference. It's possible that I'm missing something, but yeah, I think both of them look very, very nice. It's really great to see that Fanatics is not cheapening out on these logos here. Like I said, it was something that I was afraid of, but it looks like they're not going in that direction. It looks like they are keeping those high quality logos, and that is awesome to see. Now, in terms of the actual material of the jersey and the feel of the jersey, that's hard to tell in pictures, right? But I do know some people who I trust who have seen these jerseys in person, who have felt these jerseys, and they say they feel very, very similar to the Adidas jerseys. The material, though, is not going to be the exact same because with these jerseys, it is the prime green material, the eco-friendly material that Adidas made up, so it is under their trademark, as far as I know, which makes it so Fanatics cannot use it, as far as I know, so it's most likely that Fanatics is going to be using some other material, probably one that we used in the past. I don't think they'll use anything new because if they are going to do something like that, it's probably going to be in the future when they implement their own style and everything like that, so it's probably going to be some material that we've used in the past for jerseys, and like I said, from everything that I've heard, they feel very, very similar to the prime green jerseys. It's really hard to tell a difference. And our last picture here is just showing the inside the back of the jersey, confirming that there is going to be a fight strap. It does also have the Ducks hockey at the bottom, but it's not like that's going to be on every single team. Well, obviously it's not going to say Ducks hockey on every single team, but it's not like it's going to say Leafs hockey or anything like that. It's just, for the Ducks. But yeah, anyways, these pictures right here basically confirm, double confirm, maybe even triple confirm that yes, these are going to be very, very similar to the Adidas jerseys. It's what we've heard for months and months and months now. It's what was confirmed with those Made in Canada jerseys, but I still saw so many people complaining even about those Made in Canada jerseys, saying how awful the quality looked, even though like I said, it was made out of the same factory as the Adidas Made in Canada jerseys were. There was literally basically no difference to those jerseys compared to the Adidas Made in Canada jerseys. But I think a lot of people are just projecting their hatred of Fanatics onto these jerseys here, which I get, and I totally understand, because there's a reason why so many people hate Fanatics. There's a reason why they have such a poor reputation, and that's because of their awful quality control and them monopolizing the sports world, not just hockey, not just football, not just, any sport. It is all sports. I get that, but with these jerseys right here, with them, at least so far from what we've seen, I know that they brought over people who worked on those Adidas jerseys and carried them over working on these Fanatics jerseys. It really does seem like they're trying to do this right, and they want to do this well. They don't want to screw up these jerseys. So from what I've seen so far, I think they've done a very good job. Now, that could change in the future. Maybe once they start mass producing these jerseys and getting them out at a retail level, maybe we see that poor quality control again, and maybe, they aren't really looking that great. But right now, from everything that I've seen, I think they knocked it out of the park. I think they did a phenomenal job with these new Ducks and Kings jerseys, the Utah jerseys, and not really so much, but that's under different circumstances. I love the fact that they are bringing back the retail Made in Canada jerseys, though. It's disappointing that Adidas never did that. So the fact that they do have that option is absolutely fantastic. Doesn't mean that I'm going to buy retail Made in Canada jerseys all the time, because they are very, very expensive, of course, but it's nice for it to be there. Maybe they'll go on sale every now and again, and I'll be able to pick one up. So it's just nice to have that option. And of course, very, very happy that they are keeping those 3D effect logos, because yeah, that was one thing that I was so afraid of. So the fact that they are keeping it, awesome, very, very happy. If really the biggest change, the biggest downgrade with the Fanatics jerseys compared to the Adidas jerseys is the dimples, then that is a massive win in my eyes. I never really cared about the dimples until I got my Made in Canada jersey, but even then, I like them on that jersey. I think they look really nice, but with most of my collection being Indos, it just doesn't really bother me a whole lot. It doesn't bother me that they're going away. So for right now, I am really high on these Fanatics jerseys. I will say I am a little bit nervous about when they do start to implement their own style and own design, which I believe is going to be in year 2 or year 3. That I understand being a little bit concerned about that time, because who knows what they're going to do with the jerseys then. But right now, yeah, I think they did a very good job. I was very upset, like most people were, when I heard the news that Fanatics was taking over. I think I made like a 10 to 20 minute long video just ranting about it. I was not very happy, but since that video, I did try to settle down a little bit. I tried to look at it optimistically, and so far, Fanatics has rewarded my optimism, so hopefully that does continue in the future. But that is going to do it for me for this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think about this jersey in the comments down below. Do you think it looks similar to the Adidas jerseys, or do you think I'm insane? I'd love to hear your opinions. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.